So I want to tell you about the most recent rental scam that's going on, and it's not really recent. It's an old one that is kind of resurfacing in just a little slightly different way. So I want to share this with you just in case you're thinking about renting a property, that you don't get scammed like these folks that we recently talked to did, and so that you don't lose hundreds or thousands of dollars like these folks did. So what happened is they had reached out about a property. There was an ad run, I think it was on Facebook. Ad was run, had a property, they reached out. He said, oh, that property's actually gone, I have another one. And he sent them to one of ours. And the price per month that he quoted them was like a really good price. Low rent, low price, half of what the market rate should have been. And they thought, that's great. That's the kind of house we want to rent. We want a good deal. So then they got interested in it. He instructed them to go to a Bitcoin ATM, send him the deposit money so that they could lease the house. He sends over a lease that looks like maybe something ChatGPT produced, and signed a lease with them, so they thought everything was legit. And so, moral of the story, how do you guard against that? There are three things that I think, had they paid attention, they might would have seen. One, if it sounds too good to be true, it very likely is. And so in today's market, if something should rent for $2,000 and they're offering it for $900, that might be red flag number one. Number two flag that they should have seen is, most people aren't going to require you to go pay your rent in Bitcoin and go to a Bitcoin ATM to pay it. Any reputable landlord, even a private individual, is going to be able to accept a check. They're going to meet you at the property, or you're going to have an office where you can pay rent, or you're going to have a website with a local company like ours, Ironhorsepropertymanagement.com, where you go and you pay your rent. If you're instructed to go to a Bitcoin ATM to send your rent deposit, that might be red flag number two. And then red flag number three in this case was they were talking to a gentleman. They didn't know who it was. He sent them a very generic lease. Our Iron Horse sign was in front of the property. Our phone number's on that sign. Our website's on that sign. And they didn't bother to reach out. And so if you see a company name on a sign, especially if it's a reputable local property management company, and here's the way these guys sometimes play it, is they'll say, well, I had a falling out with Iron Horse. If they lease it, I have to pay them. But if I lease it directly to you, I can give you a discount. And I don't have to pay them, so you just need to deal directly with me. So that's how they spin it. Reality is, if they've got a problem with us, they know our policy is that they can reach out, and if they just can't, they're just not happy, we don't want to do business with them anyway, because, renting property, selling property, that's the way we've always operated. It's a team effort. And if a seller or a owner is not on board with us and what we're trying to do, then we're not, our efforts are going to be in vain anyway. So again, remember those three things. If you see something for rent and it seems too good to be true, it's 50% of what the market value should be, probably too good to be true. Number two, don't send money over Bitcoin through a Bitcoin ATM or anything like that. Pay under traditional terms, traditional way of payment. And then number three, if there's a sign in the yard, just pick up the phone and call and say, hey, does this guy, whatever his name is, does he work for you? Are you leasing this house? Is this the right rate? I just want to verify things. Had they have done that, they would have saved themselves from sending money somewhere that they're never going to get it back. So I hope these tips have been valuable. If you're thinking about renting a house, be on guard. Don't get scammed.